Hi soulmate, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're making this beautiful gown you see on the thumbnail. So we have a fabric here. This is a Ankara fabric, and this is actually 6 years because I'm making this for two persons. So and this is an ashoke. So we'll be using this to combine it as we see on the thumbnail. So I'll get this fabric on fold to make it easy for us. So each person will be using 3 yards. So I have my fabric on fold already. So this is it. The length I'm working on is 42 inches. So I deducted 12 inches for the gathers, which is for the lower part. So what I have here is 29 inches. It's supposed to be 28 inches. So I added just 1 inch for seam allowance. So I have 29 inches here. So the next thing, I'll take my waist measurements, my waist point, which is 20. This is this. Take my ruler, make a straight line on that part. So this is my waist point. So this M line, which is this lower part, to be my hip point. So I'm marking my hip measurement here. So my hip measurement divided by 4 is 10 and a half. 10 and a half. So I'll be marking it here. Then I'll be adding 3 inches to it. So this is 3 inches, which is here. So this is it here. So on the waistline, I'll put my waist measurement divided by 4. So my waist measurement divided by 4, put it here. Whatever waist measurement you have, divide by 4. That is what you put here. So on your waistline, so you put it, then add 3 inches. Whatever inches you are using on the hip, that is what you use on the waist also. So add 3 inches to it. So this is this. So you connect this to the hip line, like so. Don't know if it's visible enough. So this is it. You connect the waistline to the hip line. So you come to the neck part here, which is the folded edge. So we're actually cutting back and front. So you take 3 inches for the neck width. So I'll be taking my 3 inches like so. 3 inches by 2.5. By 2.5. The reason I'm taking 3 inches by 2.5 because I'm cutting the two together. So this will be the back neck. So you just connect your 3 to your 2.5 inches. So this is the neck. Let me make it visible. This is it. So on this part, I will come down with 1 inch. So this is my 1 inch here for the slanting of the shoulder. So this is my 1 inch, like so. So I will use my ruler to connect this neck point to the slanting. So this is it. This is the one. So that's my shoulder slant. So the next thing, I'll be taking my shoulder measurement. Shoulder measurement is 7.5 inches. So this is my 7.5 inches, like so. 7.5. Then you put your sleeve measurements. So my sleeve measurement I'm working with is 10.5 inches. So this is my 10.5 inches. There will be a little band of 1.5 inches or about 2 inches on the edge of the sleeve. So that's why I'm using 10.5. So this is it. So this is where my sleeve is. So I will just take it straight. So I roll it straight down. This is where the sleeve ends. So this is it here. So at that point, I'll mark my sleeve opening from the slant. Don't take it from the edge again. So if you take your sleeve opening from the slant, so I'll be taking my sleeve opening 10 inches. Let's use 10 and a half. So I'll be using 10 and a half, which is here. So you connect that line into the main body, like so. So this will be your chest line. So that is where you'll be marking your bust measurement. So your bust measurement, the bust measurement is 9.5. So this is 9.5. So the same allowance you put on the waist and the hip, that's the same allowance you will use, which is 3 inches. So this is 3 inches. So you connect this to this, like so. So that is it. Then at this point, you make a curve, like on the sleeve, make a curve like so. Make a curve this way. It shouldn't be straight, so make a curve. So we are done with the cutting. So we cut this off and separate it. So we cut the neck first. So I've cut it out. So this is it. So the next thing, before we remove it, I will measure the lower part, what I have here. So this is 13.5. So we'll be using this measurement. 13.5, we calculate it, it's on fold. So you times 13.5 by 4. So whatever you have, the total of what you have here times 2.5, that will be the length of the gathers. So you open it up so that we'll cut the front part. So remove this, keep this aside and work on the front part. Arrange it very well. So we'll be working on the front part now. So on this neckline at the front, I'll be taking 9 inches from the shoulder line, 9 inches this way. So this is 9 inches here. So this is 9 inches. So at that point, we should take 9 inches. You take whatever inches you want to use as the band at the front. So for this, I'll be using 1.5 inches for the band. So I'll put it this way. I take my 1.5 inches. So this is 1.5 inches here. You can use 2 inches, you can use 2.5, whichever way you want it. Or let's just use 2 inches. So 2 inches, where you open, that will be 4. So let's use it. So this is my 2 inches. So I'll get my ruler and connect this to the neckline, like so. Connect this to this. Sorry. So this is it. Connect that the edge of the neckline to the 2 inches. So you take that 2 inches all the way down to the hem of the dress. So you take that 2 inches, just take it straight down. So I will take it and cut it off so you see how it is. So this is it. So I will cut this off. So please, if you stayed this far and did not click on that like button, please do so. Make this video to get to a large audience, please. So I'll cut this off. Subscribe to my channel because I'll be uploading beautiful videos on this channel. So subscribe, put on notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload new videos. So this will be the front part This will be the back part. So keep this aside and work on our gathers. So I have this fabric here. So let's do our calculation for the gathers. I said is the lower part I measured 13 inches. So 13.5 inches times 13.5 inches times 4, because it's folded into 4. So whatever you have at the lower hem of your gown times 2.5, that is the volume of the gathers you want to use for this. So I will times that and cut out the gathers fabric. So the length I'm actually using is just 12 inches. So I'll be adding just 1 inch to it. So I'll cut it out. So we'll get sewing. So this is the material I'll be using for the gathers. Whatever you have at the lower hem of the gown times 2.5. If you have more fabric and you want it fuller, you can use times 3. So this is times 2.5, and this is what I have. So I'll be joining it to make it one. So this is for the gathers. So there is pockets on it. So this piece here is for the pocket. So the next thing, we start sewing now. We start sewing. Bring our back piece like so. Open it up. The front part. This is the front part of it facing up like so. Then we open the front. Sorry, this is the back part. Open the front part like so. So you align them on the shoulder line. Align on the shoulder line like so. And you join with 1/2 inch. Whatever you do to that end, you do the same to this way. So align it on the shoulder line this way. Right side facing the shoulder. Then you join on the shoulder line. So we do that. I'll go and join on the shoulder line and show us how it is. So I've joined the shoulder line. This is it. This is the shoulder line. I've joined it on both sides. So it has become one now. So I'll open this up. First and foremost, you open it up like this. Actually make a notch on the middle of the back neck. You see this part. So this is the back neck. So I made a notch on it. So you take your measurement from the notch line to the hem of the dress, so that I'll be able to cut the band. So either you do it that way, or you just take from one of the end of the dress to, which is, take from here all through to get to the other end of, it. So I took my measurement and I got 39 inches. So 39 inches. So which is, if you hold it this way, I got 39 inches on fold. You understand? So this is 39 inches on fold like this. So we'll be cutting the band. Remember earlier I said we are using the ashoke fabric, so it's not actually much. So we're actually just managing it. So whatever you cut out of the front of the gown, you add 1/2 inch to it. So this is 2.5 inches band of the ashoke. So this is it, 2.5 inches on the length that we measured. So what was left on the ashoke is this. So I'll be using this for the sleeve, for the edge of the sleeve. So this is it. This is the opening of the sleeve here, like so. So I'll be using this on it as the band on the sleeve. So I will attach this to the sleeve, then we work on the band. So for the band, what we do, we put it on fold like this, as it is. As it is now, is on fold. This is it. As you see, it is on fold. So put it on fold like so. Then we get some measurement tape. So we take the opening of the neck. we'll take the opening of the neck. So I'll be taking 14 inches for the opening of the neck. So this 14 inches. Like so. Yeah. Are you seeing this? 14 inches, which is from the back neck all through to the 9. You know, I measured 9 inches for the front opening. So if you add the allowance of the back neck, so that is why I'm marking 14 inches. Mind you, this 14 inches is on fold. So you see, the band is of fold actually now. So you take your 14 inches like so. This is like 14 inches. So mark that point. So you take this to our sewing machine now and sew the midpoint of this band. If you have your iron handy, you just make a crease line on it. Make a crease line on it to guide you. But if you don't, just make a marking. You can just mark it, mark the midline on it. So you go and sew it. I will sew that and show us how it will be after sewing. So I've turned the band to the sleeve. This is it. This is it. So this is the band. So we'll be working on the front part now. So this was what I was trying to say. So from the 14 inches I marked, see, I sewed from that point all through to the ending. So you now fold it this way to make it a band now. You see what I'm doing? So open it up like this. You open it up and give it a nice press. So you're actually creating the 2.5 inches band again. So open it up like so, you see. So you give it a nice press, okay, like this. So you get the midpoint of it. The midpoint. When you get the midpoint, you hold it like this. So this actually is the opening of the neck. So you get the midpoint of your back, to which I've actually notched earlier. So open it up like this. Get the midpoint of the band. You put it on it. Then you pin from this side to that end and this side to this end. So you sew it. So I'll go and do that and show us how it will look like before we do gather stitches on the lower end. So this is it. Like this. So this is the opening of the neck. So this is the opening of the neck. This is the back, so this is the front of it. See how beautiful it is. Just give it a nice press. This is it. And this is the opening of the neck. So the next thing, we close it up and work on the lower part, which is the gathers. So we'll align the sleeve on this part. So pin it, pin the sleeve open, then the lower part of the gown. Like so. So I'll pin it also. Then we'll attach our pocket to it. So for the pocket, after you finish pinning, let's just pin one end first. After pinning it this way, so this is it. I've pinned one part of it. So for the pocket, you measure where your pocket will be. Measure where it will be. For this, I'm using 16 inches. So this is 16 here. This is it. So you can use 18, whichever one you want to use. So I'm actually using 16, which is this. So I'll make a notch on that part. Make a notch on this part like so. So that is my pocket opening. So at that point you come down by 7 inches, like so. So this is my 7 inches here. So this is where the pocket will end. So you bring your pocket this way. So you bring your pocket, take one of it. Let me remove this thing. Take one of these. So this is the place at which I must take one of the pockets and sew it to it, half inch on it like so. Then you do the same to this part like so. So after sewing, it will become like this. So then we close into the pocket and add. So I will do that and we'll start working on the lower parts. So I've closed the side. I've closed the side. So I also attach the belt to it. What I did on the belt is just a normal regular belt. You use whichever length you want to use. So it's just a normal band. So you run it as your belt. So I put it at like, oh, you know, I measure 16 inches for the pockets. This is the pocket. I started this. So this is my pocket. So I just put the belt at the top part of the pocket, which is above the 16 points that I mark for the pocket opening. So this is where I put it. So the same thing I did on the other side. So we are done with this. So this is the pocket for this side. Our cloth is almost ready. So we'll be working on the lower part of the gown now. We'll work on the lower part. So this is the fabric I'm using for the gather piece. So you run your gather stitches on it, then draw it to the size of the lower part, then attach it to it. So I'll go and do that. Run my gather stitches on this one, then sew it to the lower hem and put it on so you see the final look of our gown. So please, if you watch this far and you like the video, please encourage me, comment, like and share. Subscribe to my channel so that you watch beautiful videos anytime I upload them. So thank you. Let me put the gather stitches on this, then attach it. So these are pockets. This gown is so beautiful. So this is it. So let me do that and show the final look. So these are some of the gown. This is the belt and this is the pocket. So you just tie your belt. You can tie it tight, you can tie it a bit loosey, whichever way you want it. So if you find this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, put on your notification bell so that you get notification anytime I upload new videos.